Hey guys, welcome back. Today I am going to be reading the Dark Web Part 3 The Red Room. Make sure to subscribe since it really helps. Anyways, let's begin. November. Wow, I haven't written in this for a while. To sum it all up, I haven't wrote in this for a long time because everything has just gone back to normal, I guess, aside from me paying Chirag to pretend to be my brother. Me and James started to bond recently and have just become really good friends. What the heck, har har har. But I came back to my journal for a specific reason. James has been acting really absent lately. I would always text and he wouldn't respond. He would always leave me unread, and he's not the only one acting strange. Rolly is as well. I went up to him today and he just pushed me away. Go suck on an egg, Greg. Then fine, I don't need Rolly, I have James, I hope. Tuesday I started jumping to conclusions about James. Today I'm thinking, what if this has to be about Albert? But that's impossible. He's dead. Yeah, he has access to different and illegal things, but I don't think he could find something to make him immortal. So I'm going up to his blown up HQ to see if I can find anything. But there's a problem. How do I get there? I asked Chirag if he had any ideas and he said that he knows a guy who can get us a car. How do you know about this guy? You don't wanna know? Anyway, Chirag bought me downtown behind a sketchy building and I met that guy Chirag was talking about. His name is Dominic. What are ya doing back here, shrimp? I'm here to get the car. Boss said I could use it if I wanted. After getting all of that out of the way, we got into the car and started driving to Albert's destroyed HQ. You might be wondering, how do I know where it is? Well, it's quite simple. When me and James were friends, he told me where it was, a few miles away from Plainview. When we got to the HQ, it was nothing but rubble, well, besides giant piles of yogurt everywhere. After looking through the junk a little bit, I noticed something. Albert's body was nowhere to be found. There was nothing else we could do there, so we got back into the car and drove back home. Wednesday. None of this makes sense. First James goes missing, Rolly is mad at me, and Albert's body is gone, and now Rolly is suddenly acting nice to me. How's it going, Greg? I don't know if he's bipolar or something now, but it's getting kinda strange. Another thing he asked me today was if I could spend the night at his house, so agreed because I think it'll get my mind off of things, but I'm bringing Chirag too if anything weird happens. Friday. I knew it as soon as me and Chirag opened Rowley's front door. That giant piece of lard smacked us in the head with a metal bat. When I woke up, me and Chirag were tied and inside of a moving van. Here we go again. Chirag was already awake and he asked me what was going on, and I told him I didn't know until Rolly told us to shut our mouths. Quiet back there. I'm surprised you know how to drive. Eventually we got to our destination and we were at another building in the middle of nowhere. Rolly motioned us inside. Rolly took us into a room that had Albert and James inside, but James was still tied up too. I still didn't want to talk to him though, so I started asking Albert all the questions. You're supposed to be dead. How are you alive? Simple. I shielded myself with my amazing yogurt. Of course you would. Why is James here? Since he called me a lump of pork, I kidnapped him and stole all of his stuff and tortured him. Where am I? My boss Mr. S lended me this building. That's when I told Albert to cut the chase. He said that he bought me here so he can torture me too, but he doesn't need James anymore and he doesn't need Chirag. So Rolly kicked them and locked the door shut and started to walk me to the another room. The room was lit red and it had a chair in the middle. I didn't know if I was hallucinating, but I swear there was blood stains on there. After they strapped me down, Albert said he was going to grab some tools. As soon as Albert left the room, I asked Rolly why he was mad at me, and he said that it was because Albert told him that I put a camera in his room. That's also why he joined Albert. I completely forgot about the camera I set up. I guess everything has been going so fast. I felt like yesterday I joined the dark web. I told Rolly I was sorry and I was getting ahead of myself and I wouldn't do anything like that ever again, but he didn't say anything. That's when Albert came in carrying a saw, a hammer, and I couldn't even tell what the other thing was. I'm back. Albert put everything on the table and did eeny meeny miny mo with them, and it landed on the saw, and he walked over to me and started to saw my leg off. It was the worst pain I ever felt in my life. Right when the saw started gnawing at my bone, I passed out. I woke up with Albert slapping my face. I guess he was waking me up. I couldn't feel my leg and I didn't even wanted to look at it, but what I did see though was Albert telling Rolly to cut off my arm. Your turn. Rolly cut off his arm. I guess the whole Joshi stuff paid off though, because Rolly said no right before Albert could do anything. James and Chirag busted down the door and grabbed Albert. After wrestling that fat warthog, they tied him up and knocked him out. After losing so much blood I passed out Monday. I guess it's time to catch you up on what happened after I passed out. James, Chirag, Rolly helped me out with my leg and we all got in the van to take care of Albert. They put him in a bag, tied weights on him and tossed him over the bridge. The next day James took me to the hospital for my leg and paid the hospital bill. Then he went on the dark web and bought me a cool robot leg as a new one. Other than that, me and Rolly became friends again, and I'm paying Chirag to be my younger brother. It's gonna be a while before I forget all this, so I'm just gonna put the past behind me. The end.